afternoon.
We are coming to you from the Scott County Public Library in Georgetown, Kentucky. And it's March, which means March Madness around here.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And I Kelly and I are going to be doing book bites next week, and we're going to be talking about sports books next week. And so we're reading right now, reading a lot of sports books.
Yes.
And Kelly, I just wanted to share with you that you can apply all kinds of disciplines to sports. Like, I was listening to a basketball game last night, and the two commentators were like doing all this math with the bracketology, and the one of them said to the other, like, this is like a math lecture, right? Well, I think it's very philosophical. I think you see philosophy in sports. Like, I think there should be 3 great loyalties in your life. And I think the first one should be your religion. The second one should be your family. And your third one should be your sports.
And Mary Lou, I'm so confused. Who is your sports team?
My sports team. Yes, it is the Tar Heels. I am really sorry for all of you.
Shame.
Shame. It's because they bit the dust yesterday. When we're filming this a week ahead of time, and UK had a very sad end to their season.
Had a not great year
yesterday. And Carolina, I've never been so glad to see the NCAA tournament cancel as last year, because Carolina was horrible, just like UK was this year. But Carolina is shining right now. They've had a mediocre year. They are suddenly coming to life, and they won their game last night. Yes. Okay, I'm sorry. I get very excited about basketball. I love it.
Yes, she does.
Of the tree. And I have on my Carolina blue sweater today. Just
in your coordinating blue mask.
So we'll see. I may be crying tonight. We may lose our game tonight. But
yeah,
right now
she's happy.
It's looking good. And we have some great books to talk to you about next week. But today,
science!
I'm on a tangent. We're here for science today.
We are, yes.
Well, we've got this great book. It's called Wildly Spectacular Sports Science. And it's 54 all-star experiments, and it's written by Sean Connolly. And I've been wanting to use this book, so we decided March Madness, we were going to do some of the activities and experiments from this book. So that's what we're doing today.
Yeah. Sadly, I had sports science on the calendar last year, and then we couldn't do it because, COVID hit. So
that's right.
Take 2.
Yes, take 2. And when we get done with this today, we're going to put this back on the shelf. So if you want to do some fun stuff with this book at home, check it out. Check it out.
But we found a couple of experiments that we think are going to be quite fun to show you.
Yes.
So, first off, we're going to be using some 2 liters and water and empty 2 liters and our friend marbles.
This is for your swimming one here. This is for the baseball. Let's get a little bit more water.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
So most of sports science is based on physics, motion, just all kinds of things about motion. So all these activities are pretty much related to physics. And when you think about swimming, one of the things that swimmers are always doing is trying to work against resistance. Water gives a lot of resistance. That's why you burn up so much energy when you swim. And some of the swimming strokes take you out of the water more than they keep you in. Like if you've ever seen Michael Phelps, the butterfly. Oh my gosh, that man flies across the water because he's out of the water a lot. He can go really fast. The slowest stroke, do you know what the slowest stroke is?
I do not.
It is the breaststroke, because you're underwater so much for that stroke. A lot of resistance.
Yeah.
And Kelly's going to show you a demonstration of that very principle right
So
here.
we've got our 2 liter full of water, and we've got our 2 liter that's, not completely empty, but basically empty. A little water on the edges.
That's got some
yes. Good label.
We want you to be able to see this.
Good call.
Should I put something in? No, because you're going to be right in front of us. I was going to say put something black in front of
I'll be right here. So, I'm going to let these go.
Which one goes fastest?
3, 2, 1. Oh, well. This one went faster, but that's because the marble got stuck to my fingers.
Do it again.
And so,
just leave that one in. Do that one again.
My fingers got stuck, so I didn't release the marbles at the same time. Let's try that again. 3, 2, 1. There we go. That's what we were expecting.
So even the marble that went through the water, it went a little bit slower because it had the resistance from the water. And this water's warm too, that made it go a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So there we go. Yeah.
So you might experiment yourself if you're a swimmer and see which strokes feel different to you based on how much water resistance you're dealing with.
Yeah. And now for another slightly similar experiment.
All right, so we are looking at baseball now. If you look at this, we have it up on this sheet of paper here. The second one is going to be baseball, and as you probably know, baseball is a sport that, I mean, it's a pitching sport. The game is all in the pitching. And you got to have good outfielders, you got to have good runners, but really, the game is pitching.
And you've heard about this pitch before because it's featured in my favorite book from last year. I'm bringing it up again. Get a Grip, Vivi Cohen.
Ah, yes.
The Knuckle Ball.
And if you, in one book I'm going to talk about next week is Lupe Wong Won't Dance, and she's trying to perfect the knuckle ball, which is the hardest pitch.
Because it's so unruly.
It's the hardest pitch to hit.
Yes.
It's the hardest pitch to throw because our tendency as we throw something is to twist a little bit. You cannot twist on a knuckleball.
Yeah.
So what makes a knuckleball unique?
Well, it never goes to the same place twice.
That's right.
So, we're going to drop a couple of marbles, and we're going to see where they go. I am just going to drop. I'm not going to spin. We've got our water almost all the way to the top there so that there's no, like, bounce when it drops in. Bloop.
So from where I was sitting, I don't know if you could see it, it went shoop like that. It curved as it went in through the water.
Let's try again.
And that one went like that. So the first one went like that. The second one went like that. And that one went shoop like that. Every one of them's gone in a different direction. And that one went like that.
Got one more marble, so let's see. That one went pretty
That
straight
went
down.
really- Well, no, that from this angle it went way over.
Oh.
So the knuckleball, when they throw it, they don't spin their hand. And as a result of that, all these pressures from air on a non-spinning ball, it's unpredictable which way it's going to go. The batter can't tell how it's going to go. But it's a very hard pitch to perfect. Most of the pitches, the pitcher spins it this way or that way to control the movement of the ball. But the knuckleball, very hard. Is that what Vivi Cohen is working on?
It is, yes. And the pro player she is writing back and forth to is also, he uses the knuckleball.
All right, and Lupe Wong, that's what she's working on too.
Yeah.
All right.
So keeping in the vein of baseball, we've got a little experiment here. This is approximately a trebuchet. So
Can you tell them how you made it?
I can, yes. So this is just a tiny piece of cardboard. So we started out, my base piece of cardboard is just like a 6x6 square here. I used my ruler. And then there's another piece on top here that is about 2x6. And then you fold it in half. And the hardest part for me was poking a hole in the center of it. I was really on the struggle bus there. But that's probably because I used a mechanical pencil. This is already way easier using a regular pencil. So that's on me. I poked a hole all the way through. I would not suggest doing that. Well, don't make a giant hole, because I had troubles with that. And then you glue your glue, your school glue. You glue it down on here, and then you take a rubber band. You cut it so you just got a string of rubber band, and you thread it through the bottom, and you thread it up through all of your holes, and you tape it to the back. And then you can reinforce it with some tape. We have pretty colored masking tape, so of course that's what I used. And then you take a spoon, and this is like your pitching arm.
So like if you're the Lord of the Rings or a fan, you've seen the movies, they use trebuchets in their warfare. That's a medieval weapon of war.
Yes. But it's a very similar concept to throwing a pitch. But, you know, don't fling fire at people. That's a bad idea.
Or boiling oil.
Or, oh yeah, no, don't do that. So, we've got this all set up, and the one part here that's really fun, I'm not going to be able to do it today. Well, you can see I did knot it, but then my knot kind of popped out through my hole because my hole was so big, so I taped it down. You can then kind of take this apart and use a shorter rubber band or a longer rubber band and see how that changes how fast your pitch goes. So I'm going to stick this little wad of paper here, and then I'm going to fling this at Min Young. Sorry.
Oh.
It didn't go very far. It was a little lackluster, but maybe if I shorten my rubber band next time, it would be more impressive. And I bet you it would be.
And I bet something besides a wad of that piece of paper would be better too.
Yeah.
Maybe have a
Ping pong
ball.
Yep. I couldn't find them, but I think that would be very exciting.
Yes, I do too. Very cool. So, that's our baseball section. What is the balloon? You know, I didn't put the balloon up on the activity.
Oh, I can do that right now.
We're going to remove the surfing one because we just couldn't get that center of gravity thing to work.
That is evil.
That was, sometimes the book says it works really well.
And it did not.
We couldn't get it to work, so we're going to just...
Yeah, so if you check this book out and you see something about surfing and the center of gravity and males versus females, try it out, let us know, because we couldn't make it work.
Everybody in our group could do the same thing, but...
And it told us men couldn't.
Yes, so there you go.
Okay, so this has to do with the discus throwing, which is not like a super popular sport. I get that, but it's kind of cool. Also, I'm just gonna go with this, and then I'll show you. Either it'll happen again, or I'll tell you what happened the first time. So I'm gonna put a penny in my balloon. I'm using a white balloon because that way, when you blow it up, it will be more see-through, and you can see what's going on, hopefully. Okay, I think that should be sufficient, and hopefully cause the thing that happened last time to not happen this time. So I'm gonna start spinning my balloon. Well, my penny stuck to the bottom. That's not good. Let's get it going. Oh my gosh, it worked so well the first time. What in the world?
It did. It really. I watched her do it. It worked really well.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not spinning the way I expected it to spin because of the way I spun it.
Look at that. Okay, can you tell on the camera that it's spinning?
Oh, I don't know, but I'm not moving it, and it is going.
Why don't you do it again and get a little closer to the camera so that it can yeah.
So much fun.
I can see it flick it, yeah.
You can see from there. Okay.
Yeah,
so you get it going, and then it just keeps going. So the first time we did this,
this might happen to you.
Yeah, well, I was spinning it, and I was like, oh man, that's such an awesome noise. I really like that. And about 15 seconds later, the balloon popped on me, scared the bejeebies out of me and Mary Lou and Yolanda, and I was like, well, I don't like that. And I think what happened is that I had blown the balloon way bigger than this the last time, because I was like, oh, that'll make it even more see-through. It'll be great. Well, I think the balloon was then so blown up and thin that when the heat from the penny spinning around got to it, it broke the balloon and it just
Which
went.
is another experiment, science concept in and of itself.
Yeah, that's in the book. It says that if the balloon happens to pop, that the coin will stop spinning and just go straight forward. I hadn't read that. I wasn't expecting the balloon to pop, so I don't know if that's what happened, but theoretically it did. It just went fling! It was very exciting.
So Kelly is going to now do a demonstration of
Yes,
skating. And if you watch skating, one of the books I'm going to talk about next week is also about ice skating. When you watch those, the spins from figure skaters at the end of their routines, oh my gosh, their spins are so beautiful. And if you noticed that sometimes they speed up as they're spinning, and you're going like, they didn't move their feet. How are they going faster?
well, most of the time, you'll notice they've kind of pulled their arms in closer to their bodies. And so I'm going to show you a little bit how that works. The book suggests weights. I think these were these are only 5 pounds. They were too heavy for me. It didn't work in this particular instance. So I'm going to use these hefty water bottles here.
Do you need a spin or you want to do yourself?
I think I can do this.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I'm going to get myself going.
I was doing this yesterday. When you pull your arms in, you can feel this surge. Did you feel it?
Uh-huh. And also I got wobbly.
Look at your hand. Look at your hand. You get really dizzy.
Oh, yeah.
Hold your hand in front of your face.
I think it will get it
help the dizziness. So that's how that beautiful spin happens. They pull their hands in and they just go faster and faster and faster and faster. It's amazing. All right, we have one more for you.
And this is probably the most exciting, so I hope you stuck around till now.
So have you ever watched somebody karate chop something and break it with their hands? And that is very impressive.
And also very dangerous. Don't do that at
Do
home.
not do it at home. That is for a trained professional. So what we're going to do, we're going to take, how many do you want to do?
3 or 4, I think will work.
3? Okay, we're going to take 3 popsicle sticks and just put it between these 2 books. And Kelly is going to attempt to break them with my badminton racket.
And that didn't work. I just flung them to the side.
Just glue everywhere.
Yep.
This time, when we do it, we're going to put coins in between.
Like if maybe bend it a little bit, or does that just weigh a little bit?
They tend to be bent.
That's true.
They do.
Yeah.
We're going to put coins, we're going to put a little bit of space in between them. When you have the sticks stacked on top of each other, it makes them denser. It makes it harder for them to break because there's no air or space in between. And I have been told, I've never watched a karate demonstration, but I have been told that when they stack stuff, they put something in between them to give it a little bit less density.
Yeah. Or use some sort of wood that's
Porous wood, very
porous.
porous wood, yeah. All right, my dear, go for it.
All right, let's see.
She's
Now that there
wicked
are
with
coins
this
stacked between.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Lots of broken pieces here.
I ended those sticks.
So, just, if you want to repeat this at home, be careful because of flying objects.
Uh-huh.
We took 3 popsicle sticks. You can even try to see how many you can do it with the first time.
That'd be
Just
fun.
stack them on top of each other between some books.
That are level.
Level, make sure the books are the same size. The second time you do it, put coins in between each one on the edges. So you lay them like that, and you put the coins here on the ends, and then stack them that way. And then you want to use something that has a good firm edge. They
Skinny
recommend
edge.
like a ping pong paddle, but I used a badminton racket, so anything like that. Don't do it with your hands because this stuff splinters.
You could really
Hurt
hurt yourself.
So that's our sports science for the day.
Yeah. We will see you next week for Book Bite Sports, as we said. The week after that, I will be back for another crafternoon that is actually a taking night. So pick up one of those. They will be ready soon. And